Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter Transportation in Animals and Plants from class 7th NCERT book. Before discussing the video of today's, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we started with the word transportation. So what does this word what is the meaning of this word transportation? So here we understood that transportation means carrying of the different material from one place to another. Means there are various systems in our body. If we talk about animals and plants, in both the places, in both the in both the organisms, the transportation is taking place. The movement of the things are happening. They are being done in both the organisms, whether it is a plant or it is an animal. So first we saw about the transportation in animals, where we have seen that there are two main organ systems where this transportation is happening. First was the circulatory system, in which we discussed about the heart, the structure of heart, each and every part of the heart, and then we have seen the function of each and every part of the heart which is present in it. Then we also saw about the heartbeat, the pulse rate, and also we have seen the stethoscope and its working and its and the parts by which it is made up of. And lastly we discussed about another part of this chapter, that was the excretion in animals. So we have seen that if the transportation is happening in the animals where the means the organs are present, there the transportation is very easy. But the animals where transportation is not, where the organs of transportation is not present, there the circulatory system is not present, then the transportation as well as excretion was happening because of the presence of water. Okay, so water was present in the case of sponges, where we have seen in the case of sponges, where we saw that the water was present inside the animal, and once the water was moving out, the waste material was also was moving out in and also the energy and another important molecules were carried from one place to another. They were transported from one place to another. And lastly we have seen about the human excretory system, where the excretory organs in the human beings, like skin, liver, the another organs like lungs and kidneys, we have discussed in these as excretory organ, which are responsible for the removal of the waste material which is not required in our body. And then we have also seen that there are three types of excretory material, or we know it as nitrogenous waste, which is of three types: ammonia, urea, uric acid. So ammonia is very toxic, and it is present, therefore it is present in the animals where there is large amount of water present. It means it is present in the aquatic animals, and aquatic animals lives in water, so these animals can get rid of these nitrogenous waste ammonia with the plenty of water, as it is very toxic, so it requires most amount of water. Okay, so it requires more water. Then next is the urea, where in which the human beings also come. So the nitrogenous waste which is being coming out from the body of the human being is the urea, means it consists of urea. Next, it is lesser toxic, or we could say that it is least toxic. Okay, so it is least toxic. And the last part of this excretory product was this uric acid. So this uric acid is the nitrogenous waste. Again, it is a nitrogenous waste which is present in the animals like birds and reptiles, snails and snakes. Okay, so all these also produce the nitrogenous waste which is known as the uric acid, and we could often see it as the white crystal which is present in with the waste material of these birds. Okay, so this was all about the excretory system. Now we are going to discuss about today's video, means we'll start with the video that what is dialysis, means what is the need of dialysis. Okay, let's deal with it. So here in the first slide I must show you that what is this, what is the meaning of this word dialysis? Okay, so if we talk about the word dialysis, what we can, why, what is the need of this another type of system? So what happens when our kidneys fail? And we saw that kidneys are the main, okay, they are the main excretory system, means they are the main excretory product organs which is helpful in the removal of the waste. So if these kidneys fail, okay, so if the kidney is going to fail, then what happens, the person has to purify the blood, means in daily basis, in the daily process also, we require to get rid of the nitrogenous waste material which is present in our body. So if we have to remove these waste material, we need to have some organs, and here we know that we have excretory system. Okay, we have our excretory system in the body, so we can perform this waste removal process very easily, because the kidneys, if kidneys are not working properly, then what happens? Suppose because of certain injury, because of certain disease, or because any other reason it could be there, and if some person's kidney stops working, then what happens? So if person's kidney stops working, then because due to some injury, certain infection, then what happens? We say this in this condition it is said to be as kidney failure. Okay, so when kidney failure occurs, so the main function of kidney was to remove the waste. Now what will happen if kidney fails? If kidney fails, then the waste products are not going to be removed from our body. It is going to be accumulated inside the blood, means it is going to present inside the blood for a longer time. As it is toxic, it means it is going to harm our body just because of the accumulation of the nitrogenous waste inside the blood. Okay, so such person cannot live unless the blood is being filtered. So our blood needs to get filtered periodically through an artificial kidney that is known as dialysis. So what is the meaning of this word dialysis? Dialysis means when somebody's kidney fails, then if it stops working, then what happens? A person has to filter their blood. Now if the blood is filtered inside the body, it is done with the kidneys. Now if it is done outside the body, why we need to filter the blood? We need to filter the blood to remove the waste material which is present inside the person's body. So person is going to, what it is going to happen, it is going to be removed artificially. So once it is removed artificially, then what happens? The kidney it takes place through a number of machines. It has to be done in time interval, means it has to be done periodically. So it is known as dialysis. So this artificial filtration of blood, means artificial kidney which is required to remove the waste product, this process is known as dialysis. Okay, now this process okay, now some other processes are also present in our body, such as removal of the waste material with the help of sweat. It also cools our body, and it also helps in the removal of the toxic substances through our skin. So skin is also one of the excretory organ. Okay, so we get rid of certain nitrogenous waste with the help of our sweat. Okay, and then next is that we know that lungs are also the organs of respiration, which also helps us to remove the carbon dioxide from our body, because this is the gaseous waste material which needs to come out from our body, and this is done with the help of our lungs. Okay, so skin, lungs, kidneys, all these are the places from where the waste material is going to come out from the body, and our body gets rid of these toxic substances as they are not required by our body. Okay, now what is the need of this dialysis? Dialysis is the process by which we filter the blood artificially. Please remember this, that it is going to filter the blood artificially. It is done outside the body. It is done with the help of various machines. So all these are the places, all these are the ways by which a person should it should not enter inside the body of it should not remain inside the body of a person. Okay, now next thing is that Next thing is that we need to know about the how this dialysis is going to happen, means how this dialysis happens. Okay, so if we see that, if we see the picture, if we see the diagram of this dialysis, so the picture is somewhat like this, where dialysis is happening. Now how it is being done? So here the arteries and veins both are present in our body. Okay, it is running parallelly, it is running throughout our body. Now what happens, one of the artery is going to be arteries and veins are going to meet with the help of the capillaries. Okay, we have already discussed when I was telling you about the blood vessels, where the pure blood is going to be flown with the help of arteries. Okay, and impure blood is going to be transported with the help of the veins. Okay, so these veins and arteries are the places where these blood is going to flow, and where veins are going to meet these arteries, there the capillary lies. And capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels which helps in the exchange of the whether it is a good material or it is a bad material. It helps in the exchange of the substances. Okay, now here the what is exchanging, what is being exchanged here, here the nitrogenous waste which is coming out from which is coming through the blood is going to be exchanged. So here we are going to exchange the nitrogenous waste from the veins, which is going to bring the impure blood. So here what happens, the capillaries are the places, so these capillaries are the places where the exchange of the blood is taking place, exchange of the waste material is taking place. So what happens here, the arterial side is going to be it is going to be supplied with the help of, it is going to be attached with the help of the tube like structure, where this blood is going to be pumped. And then what happens here, the blood is going to be pumped, and it is added with the help of, it is going to flow through the various chambers. As you could see that here one chamber lies, another chamber lies here, another chamber lies here, and the next last chamber lies here. Okay, so these are the places from where the blood is going to flow from one place to another place. So a blood thinner is also added in between. Now why this blood thinner is added? As the blood is going to pump outside the body, so we need to it should continuously flow. So for continuous flowing of the blood in the blood vessels, so these pipes, these thin pipes are going to work as the blood vessels. Okay, some of them becomes arteries, some of them becomes vein. So blood vessels are these pipes are going to work as blood vessels, where we add blood thinner so that the blood should not clot, it should not coagulate inside these arteries and the veins, means it inside these tube like structure. Next, this flowing blood reaches through the filters. Now these filters are very similar, they have very similar structure with our kidneys. Okay, so they have very similar structure to our kidney. Now what happens inside this? So here the membranous structure is present, membranous systems are present, means there are various other machines which are being installed inside these filters where blood is going to filter. So dialysis, so this is also known as a dialyser. This is also, this machine, this part is also known as a dialyser. As you could see here, it is written here dialyser. Then what happens, it works as artificial kidney. Why it is working as artificial kidney? Because it is having the very similar structure to our kidneys, which is responsible for the blood filtration, which is responsible for the removal of the waste material. Now here the fluid is continuously being flown inside these filters. Here the another process like osmosis happens, as which is taking place with the help of the with the help of the membranes. Okay, now we will discuss about these types of process in the higher class. Now here you should remember that this dialysis is happening because just because of the filters which is being added here. Okay, so this dialysis fluid is going to flow inside, and then it is going to drain. And what happens next is that blood flows inside the chamber, inside the next chamber, where it is going to be bubble, it is going to it is known as bubble trapper. Why? Because bubble should not enter inside the blood vessel, because it is going to clog the blood vessel and the person could die because of the lesser supply of oxygen. Okay, so next, when the blood is being purified, it is again entered inside, it is going to enter inside from the another part of the body, another part from the veins, another part of the blood vessels, and it again mix inside the circulation, because of which the continuously this fluid filtration is taking place. This blood gets filtered because of the presence of this dialyzer, and it is also, and this complete process of the filtration of blood, okay, this is known as filtration of blood, is known as dialysis. Okay, so this dialysis is artificially being done outside the body of a person when the kidney fails. Remember that whenever the kidney fails, then only this process works. In the normal condition, circulatory system and excretory system works parallelly, it works simultaneously, it works together, so that a person should get the good things also, and a person should get rid of the bad things also. Okay, so in this way, dialysis is very important for the people those whose kidney is going to fail. Then this option is only left with, where the person's blood is taken out completely and it is going to filter and again it is sent back through the next part of the blood vessels, and it is brought back to the circulation, and this is how a person works normally. Okay, so and this has to be done periodically. Okay, this machine is not going to fit inside the body, that is why the dialysis is being done outside the body, because of which the person works normally. Okay, now next we move on to the next slide, where we need to see the transportation in plants. Okay, now till now we were discussing about the transportation and the excretion in animals. Now it is the time to discuss about the transportation in plants. Now, do you think plants also transport the things? And the answer would be yes, because from the lower classes we all are being told that whenever the photosynthesis occurs, so the plant is going to prepare food with the help of photosynthesis. So this food is going to move from one place to another. It absorbs water, it takes up sunlight, it takes up carbon dioxide. So all these things are taken up by the plants with the help of various organs, such as water is being absorbed, water and minerals are being absorbed by the root system. Okay, so this root system, and the root is going to absorb the materials like minerals and water, and again it also some of the carbon dioxide is also absorbed because of these root hairs. Okay, and most of the carbon dioxide is absorbed by the stomatas of the leaves. Okay, so it is absorbed by the stomata of the leaves. So there are various organs like stomata, roots, stem. All these are the parts which helps in the transportation of the various materials. Okay, now these various materials could be good ones also and bad ones also, as very similar to the transportation and excretion of the human beings. So the transportation and excretion is being done. This is because this is being done with the help of various organs, and yes, the answer would be yes, the plants also transport the things. So plants transport the solids in the form of the food, and liquids in the form of the water, and gases in the form of carbon dioxide and oxygen from the stomata, and it is going to be moved from one place to another place with the help of these special organs of the plants. Okay, so this is how the plants gets transported. It means the materials gets transported in the plants. Okay, fine. Now we have also studied that plants takes up water, minerals and nutrients from the soil through the roots and transport it to the leaves. Okay, as we know that there are two types of transportation in plants. One is one way transportation, another is two way transportation. It is very similar to the roads which is being there in your city or in your place where you are living. One is the way, one road is for moving, for going one side, and another road is moving another side, means it is one way transportation of water takes place. And similarly the food is going to be prepared inside the leaves, so it is going to be distributed in various organs, various parts of the plant. So this is how the food and water gets transported with the help of the various organs. Fine. Now the leaves prepare food in the plants and by using water, carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So we have also seen in chapter 10 that food, which is the source of energy to each and every cell of an organism, gets energy by breaking down of glucose. So from where is this glucose coming? So this glucose is as a result of photosynthesis. So because of the process of photosynthesis, glucose is formed. This glucose moves to give energy, this breaks to give energy in the same, and once it is moving from one place to another, it means we are studying about transportation. Okay, so transportation is happening in the plants with the help of various organs. Now these energy is again being transported so that the plant could perform the various activities of its life. It has to grow, it has to bear fruits, it has to bear flowers, it has to grow in the form of it should have branches also, it should have long strong stem, so that it should withstand in the conditions like flood and another harsh conditions also. Okay, so it needs to transport these or is material from one place to another, because of which helps the plants to grow very properly. So each and every cell requires energy, and this energy is being moved from one place to another place. Now the food must be available to each and every organisms. You have ever wondered how water and nutrients absorbed by the roots are transported to the leaves? Just think over it, that how these nutrients and the water is going to be which is being absorbed is going to transported in the leaves or in the various parts of the body. Now how the plants are going to how the leaves are going to these leaves are going to transport the food from one place to another. Since the food is being made inside the leaves, how it is being transported from one place to another place. Okay, now this is how there are various organs, special organs which are present. I must just tell you about these organs in few minutes. Fine. So there are various organs inside in the plants, very similar to the in the animals. Okay, so their work is very similar, not in the structure they are similar. Please remember this. Next is the transportation of water and minerals. Now we will move on to the two things which is transported in the plants. One is water and mineral, and other is food. Now water is transported with one organ, and another part is going to transport the food inside the organ, inside the body of the plant. Okay, now the plants absorb water and minerals by the root through the root hairs. Now the root hairs increases the surface area. Now why these root hairs are very important? We have seen that a root is coming out from the base of the stem. Okay, and it is buried inside the ground. Now what happens, we have noticed that there are several small hair like structure which is present in the roots. Okay, now these are called root hairs, and some of the root hairs are microscopic also even. So these root hairs also helps the absorption, it helps in the absorption of water and minerals from the soil. So root hairs increase the surface area. As we were having the absorption area was increased with the help of villi, similarly root hair increases the surface area of the roots for absorption of water and mineral nutrients dissolved in water. So the water and minerals are going to dissolve here inside the water, and root hair is in the contact with water and present between the soil particles. So these root hairs are going to take up the water which is present between the soil particles, and it helps in the absorption of these materials, these minerals, and it is going to be transported with the help of one organ called xylem. Please remember the word xylem. So these are the organs of transportation in the plants and they transport only water. Okay, so xylem transports water in the plants. Now next we move on to the next part, that is how is the food being transported. As it is prepared very high up in the in the leaves, how it is being transported? It is transported with another vascular tissue, another vascular organ, which is known as phloem. Okay, so this is known as phloem. Okay, so this phloem and xylem, so this phloem and xylem are the two things. These are the two tissues. These are vascular tissue. Now what are these tissues? We have studied about cells. So cell is the basic structural and functional unit. Similarly, tissues are the group of cells which is performing one function. Means the cells of a particular area is going to function in a similar way. As we are talking about the xylem, so this xylem is only responsible for the conduction of the water. Similarly, phloem is responsible for the conduction of food. So the cells which are making a group of cell which is performing similar function, means here phloem is performing the transportation of food. So this is one similar function. So all the cells which are involved in the phloem, they help only in the transportation of food. Similarly, xylem was there. This xylem tissue is there. So that xylem, the cells which is present inside the xylem, is only responsible for the transportation of water. So the tissue is a group of cell which performs the similar function. Okay, please remember the word tissue and vascular tissues there are two vascular tissues in the plant's body, which is known as xylem and phloem. So we talked about xylem, that it is responsible for only the transportation of water, not another things like the minerals and all. Means minerals are dissolved, it is going to transport. It is not going to transport any food particle, any food material. So food is transported by another medium, another vessel, which is known as the phloem. Okay, so here Bujo is right. Means I have taken this part from your NCERT book where the plants they were talking. Means there are two people there in your NCERT book. One is a boy, another is a girl. So they are always asking questions and they are clearing the doubts in between. Similarly, here also I have taken one part from there so that it will be very clear for you all. Next is this plants have pipe-like structure, the vessel-like structure to transport water and nutrients from the soil. Okay, now the vessels are made in the special cells which is known as the vascular tissue. A tissue is a group of cell which is going to perform a similar specialized function. So remember this definition of tissue. Tissue is a group of cell which is going to perform the similar function. Okay, specialized function. The vascular tissue for the transportation of water and nutrients in the plants is called as the xylem. So we talked about xylem in very detail, that xylem is responsible for the flow of the water, means it is going to conduct water. Now xylem forms a continuous network of channel that connects the roots to the leaves through the stem and branches, and thus transports water to entire plants. Now it seems very easy that xylem is present, phloem is present, one is going to transport water, another is going to transport food. It is not so easy as we are talking about. So water is going to be transported, food is going to be transported with the help of additional force. Means one more supporting force is there which is going to help the movement of water, that is the continuous column is going to be made. Okay, now how this continuous column is going to be made, we'll just come to know. Here as you could see that water is going to absorb from one place, it is going to carry, it is going to be moving, it is going to move forward, and it reaches to complete body of the plant. It is going to reach each and every tissue of the plants. Now you all know that leaves are synthesizing food. The food has to be transported to all the plants. This is done by phloem. Now I said this is not so easy, that we are talking about xylem and phloem and one is taking water, another is taking food. It is very easy to, it sounds very easy, but it is which is very complex phenomenon, and these phenomenon is done because of the presence of various parts in the phloem and xylem, and that is a part of your higher studies. Okay, so once you are passing this class and you are moving to another class, you could understand what I'm talking about and what are these parts of xylem. So first remember that xylem is only responsible for the water conduction, and phloem is a vascular tissue which is responsible only for the food conduction. Now how is this being done? So I must explain this, that once the roots absorb water, it is going to be made in the continuous column. Means how is this water going to form? It is going to form a continuous channel. As you could see that there are certain trees which are very height, means they have a great height. Now how this water is going to reach from a small part from this ground to the top of the plant? How is this water reaching? This water is no doubt reaching with the help of xylem, but in xylem also how it is taking place? So for that we need to know about another phenomenon called transpiration. Now what is this transpiration? Now this transpiration means it is the release of the water by it is the release of extra water which is present inside the body of the plant. Okay, so this transpiration is very much responsible for the conduction. Now how this is responsible for the conduction, and what is the meaning of means what is the explanation about this transpiration, and what is the connection between the continuous column and this transpiration, this I will discuss in the next video, children. Okay, so in today's video we discussed about how the xylem and phloem is responsible for the transportation of water and food inside the plants. Okay, and we also talked about dialysis, where the artificially we take out the blood of a person for some time, we filter it and we again send it back. So this is how the people works whose kidney is failed, means they have a kidney failure due to certain reason. Now this was all about today's video, children. So this was all about in today's video. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.